what I think it's important to mention here, it says that, let's see, with that said, the Two Rivers Authority and the contract was signed by officials representing Two Rivers Authority and the American Police Force. He explained to the crowd that the APF, now he being Al Peterson, who's the vice president of TRA, consists of retired and ex-police/military personnel, including ex-SEALs, Rangers, etc., who have been trained and have experience in everything from airline/cruise ship security to hostage negotiations. The APF chose Hardin because they are impressed with the community. They have been in Hardin for the last 9 months, and the community has welcomed them and treated them well. Okay, in the contract signed, it says the APF will only house low to medium security inmates, and only the chief of police, the United States government, Montana Department of Corrections, and the state, local, county, and federal jurisdictions will be allowed to place only properly classified inmates in the facility. The city will be able to house between 30 to 60 inmates at their detention center. The APF will also permit the city to use the courtroom and office space for city court at no cost. The APF are required to maintain all appropriate certifications and insurances necessary, and they'll take care of all of that. Okay. Al stated that the only money APF would be making will be from inmate phone calls and stuff like that.
Oh, please.
They will be paying TRA $5 per inmate per day, as well as all taxes, etc. APF will pay any deficiency to trust starting February 1st, 2010, regardless of whether they have inmates or not. They will pay the money to TRA, then TRA will make the payments. The contract also mentions that the APF want to build a $16 to $17 million law enforcement center at their cost. Al stated that the center would contain a state-of-the-art forensics lab, a training center, a 248-bed dormitory, and much more. The facility would be built on the same property right behind the detention center, and there is property there. We saw it. The contract also states that APF will shop in the community first for the things they need before heading out of town. APF wants to help them become a part of this community, and they're willing to send a police officer with food to the houses of people who are not able to get out and about. How nice. They
All right.
are also willing...
Mona, hold back. Yeah. Get a pen. I'm going to give you the fax number right now. You tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay, it is 866-894-1767. Do you have that?
Got it.
All right, Mona, I'm going to let you go. Please, yes, please fax that right over, and we'll be doing Prison Planet and InfoWars stories ASAP. We're going to get that to Kurt Nemo and Paul Watson. Thank you so much for the call. But for PrisonPlanet.tv subscribers, I want to play this video. The local KLUR or KULR station now reporting, he's got 17 aliases. Yeah, he spent some time in a California state correctional facility. Yeah, he's lost some civil suits of over $1 million that he hasn't paid, but he also has a current outstanding warrant in Wyoming. He's a wanted criminal. And again, the elite and the establishment love criminals who don't care about the American people. They're not under our jurisdiction of we the people. So let's go to this video, PrisonPlanet.tv, right now.
Launched an investigation into a California company's plan to take over the Hardin jail. The probe came one day after the criminal past of American Police Force leader Michael Hilton is revealed. Yesterday, concerned Montana citizens showed up at the Hardin jail, joining officials in the quest for answers. Color 8's Nick Law went to Hardin and has the details.
Hello? Anybody home?
Tony Myers drove from Columbus, Montana in search of answers in the ongoing story between the Hardin jail and American Police Force.
I just want to know who they are, why they're coming here, who they're bringing in.
My job is not to give you the answers that you want. My job is to give you the information that I have been employed to release or not release.
Caught in the crossfire is APF spokesperson Becky Shea, who spent all day answering questions from media members and the public after an AP story linked the security firm's leader, Michael Hilton, to multiple bankruptcies and convictions for more than a dozen felonies.
There were no surprises. Michael disclosed this information to me before I agreed to come to work for him.
Shea and TRA Vice President Al Peterson both say they knew about the convictions long before the report came out, but are still confident in APF.
I firmly believe APF is legitimate and a solid corporation.
Peterson declined an on-camera interview but released this statement saying, quote, I believe that the TRA has a better chance of getting the detention facility open with APF than with any Montana officials. What do we have to lose if it doesn't work out? End quote. APF also continues to stand firm on its stance to not release the parent company.
That information won't be disclosed.
But Myers and others like her pledge to continue their research.
They're putting in a criminal to watch criminals?
And try to get to the bottom of the mystery behind the Hardin jail. Reporting in Hardin, Nick Law, Color 8 News.
Calls to Michael Hilton were not returned. APF spokesperson Becky Shea says Hilton is currently in California on business and is expected back in Hardin in the next couple of weeks. Well, court records from Orange County, California indicate Michael Hilton has a lengthy criminal past, including a 6-year prison sentence for a dozen counts of grand theft and other charges. Court documents show more than a decade of courtroom appearances for Hilton, starting in 1982 through 1999 on charges including bad checks, fraud, breach of contract, and grand theft. After his release from prison, court documents indicate he was entangled in at least 3 civil lawsuits alleging fraud or misrepresentation. And we learned just yesterday there's a warrant out for Hilton's arrest in Wyoming. A Sheridan County, Wyoming Circuit Court judge issued a warrant September 1st. A court clerk says he was ticketed for driving with a suspended driver's license on Interstate 90 in Sheridan County on August 15th. The arrest warrant was issued after he failed to appear in court.
All right, let's continue with the callers. Let's go to Michael in Texas. Michael, you're on the line.
Yeah, Burmis, this is Mike Moore calling from Wichita Falls, Texas. How you doing today?
All right.
Hey, there's one thing that I'm talking about this Montana story as it develops that came to mind. I used to hold a security officer license here in Texas for about 4 years, and I've been going through the Montana, it's mt.gov website in order to find the Montana Board of Private Security to find out if there's even a current license for this American police force, which so far to my search, I haven't found one.
Well, you know, that'll tie into a story by Felix Barber over at prisonplanet.com. The headline is APF license? We don't need no stinking license. When the scene started to unfold in Hardin, Montana, my first reaction could be best described as an overwhelming feeling of despair. The thought that our worst fears were coming true so soon literally sent chills down my spine. Talks of troops on American soil and secret empty detention centers appeared to be taking shape before our very eyes. Scary stuff indeed. But as the hours and days unfolded and more light was shined upon this story, it became less of a looming threat and more like an engrossing tabloid scandal. So it doesn't appear that they do have a license. But I want to read more of this article that the caller just brought up. APF license, we don't need no stinking license. As you read into it, American Police Force is a California corporation. And in order to advertise for investigative services in the state of California, one must be licensed. And the licenses must advertise using the name that the license is issued under. I went to the website of bsis.ca.gov/online services/verify licenses, SHTML. This is the website for the California Department of Consumer Affairs, Bureau of Security and Investigative Services. They have a database that anyone can use to verify a license. You simply put in the name of the company, and under it will tell you whether that firm is licensed or not. As I suspected, no matches were found. They are not licensed to operate as a private investigator, nor as a security operator required to provide bodyguard services. I knew this would be the case going in because the state of California will not issue a license to a company that has the word police as part of its company name. But remember, this is under some other umbrella corporation that has remained secret as of this point. Use the word police in the context of any license is strictly forbidden by California state law. And it goes on, full story over at Prison Planet and InfoWars. All right, let's continue with the callers. Let's go to Dan in Pennsylvania. Dan, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Yes. This is about Hilton there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's I went to this website. I surf around a lot, and it's whatdoesitmean.com. I've been there before, of course. It's under an article named Obama in Secret Russia Visit Warns Putin I may not make it, about 3/4 of the way down.